Hi, my name is Tahir Sadiq, and I did Nelson Mandela. I pay tribute to the endless heroism of youth. You, the young lions. You, the young lions, have energized our entire struggle. I pay tribute to the mothers and wives and sisters of our nation. You are the rock-hard foundation of our struggle. Apartheid has inflicted more pain on you than anyone else. On this occasion, we thank the world community for their great contribution to the anti-apartheid struggle. Without your support, our struggle would have not reached this advanced stage. The sacrifice of the frontline states will be remembered by South Africans forever. My salutations would be incomplete without expressing my deep appreciation for the strength given to me during my long and lonely years in prison by my beloved wife and family. I am convinced that your pain and suffering was far greater than my own. I greet you all in a time post-Jim Crow, in a time where racism has been fought against and there has been success and failure, a time where racial inequality is dying out but still living and active. I pay tribute to the people who fought for equality during the times where racial oppression was at its very worst. Those who fought will add on to the legacy of black revolutionaries that fought to end the struggle for equality in the world. They fought to bring racial equality to all the world and to end the mistreatment of colored peoples. I pay tribute to the revolutionaries and figures that fought for equality then and those who fight for it now. The people who expired and told the world that there is no more place for racism or segregation. I mourn with the mothers, fathers, and relatives of people who are friends of those who have passed because of racial injustice and inequality. I mourn for people like Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown who have been killed because of a racially oppressive mindset. I salute the Black Panthers for what they have done for the United States. They stood up for their beliefs and for what they believed was right for their people. I salute Nelson Mandela for his fight against apartheid in South Africa. His actions, words, and speeches affected the world and showed that even after 27 years in prison, one can still fight for justice, rights, and equality. I salute Martin Luther King Jr. for his attempts to change racism embedded in the United States. I salute the Mau Mau as they fought against British colonialism in Kenya with force and action. I extend my deepest gratitude towards those who attempt to change the world for the better, and those who cherish, embrace, and accept black culture around the world. I extend gratitude to those who fight and have fought against racism and will continue their fight until their demands are met. I salute people involved in movements for the better treatment of black people. These are the people that change our future.
My name is Joseph Richmond, and I did Lou Gehry. Fans, for the last 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad break I got. Yet today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I have been in ballparks for 17 years and never received anything but kindness and encouragement from you fans. Friends, nothing in life comes without a cost, yet you can take positive things out of it and make something good. In life, you need to remember the good parts and not the bad, and to take in all the positive influences the world has to offer. And you too can become the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
So I did Gandhi, but let there not be a semblance, a beat, a peace, even after all of us have been arrested. We have resolved to utilize all of our resources in pursuit of an exclusively non-violent struggle. Let no one commit a wrong in anger. As you all know, there have been many protests around the country, as people are concerned about the policies of the new administration. Many people are concerned about women's rights, the rights of the gay community, and fair policies for refugees and Muslims. We have the right to protest, but must do so peacefully. Our struggle must be non-violent. No one should commit a wrong in anger. Much can be done through peace. There are many things we can do peacefully. We can march in major cities around the country. We can chant and protest outside airports. We can protest through social media, and we can boycott racist organizations and products. Eventually, the government will hear our voice. 65.3 million refugees are left outside our country with no home and no place to go. We must be true to our consciousness and think about others. I have faith in the righteousness of our cause and the purity of our actions.
My name is Ethan Lee, and I did Joseph Stalin. Today, the position of our country is far better than 23 years ago. Our country is now many times richer than it was 23 years ago as regards to industry, food, and raw materials. We now have allies who together with us are maintaining a united front against the German invaders. We now enjoy the sympathy and support of all nations of Europe who have fallen under the yoke of Hitler's tyranny. We now have a splendid army and a splendid navy who are defending with their lives the liberty and independence of our country. We experience no serious shortage of either food or armaments or army clothing. Our entire country, all the peoples of our country, support our army and our navy, helping them to smash the invading hordes of German fascists. Our reserves of manpower are inexhaustible. The spirit of the great Lenin and his victorious banner animate us now in the patriotic war just as they did 23 years ago. Our country, we the people, live in the most powerful and greatest country in the world. The United States of America can defeat any enemy around the globe. We have the biggest economy in the world, the most powerful military, and this is the greatest nation in history. There are terrorists and menaces all around the world threatening our motherland. Only you, every single one of you, men and women, can fight to protect the motherland from the terrorists in the Middle East and the Russian tyrants. America has overcome every challenge thrown at her. We will overcome, we will power through, and we will patriotically triumph. God bless you.
My name is Alex Park, and I did Michael Dell. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to travel a less traditional path, but I've managed to cover a fair amount of territory. There may be some lessons that I've learned that could help you in some small measure on your road ahead. As you stand here tonight, you're at the start of a wonderful journey, but it's a journey that can only begin with your decision to embark. We are a nation of accomplishment, and this ceremony is a great testament to that. But the unspoken requirement of commencement is that you now must commence. There are countless contributions and achievements that never occurred, all due to the failure to begin. Traveling the path less taken is the only way to succeed, and the only way you can make history is embark and go for your dreams. I'm about to start high school, which is a huge new chapter in my life. I have to take advantage of this opportunity and pave a road of greatness for my future. I will fail, I will make mistakes, but if I want to succeed, I need to learn from them. Most importantly, I can't give up. Those who give up and never commit will get nowhere in their life. In high school, I have to draw my own map and create a bright future, not just for me, but for the world. If more people paved their own path, we could change the world. Being normal is boring, but taking a path less taken will make a brighter future for us and generations to come.
I'm Sam Lynch, and I did Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame induction speech. And it didn't stop there. You know, my competitive nature went right into the pros. I get to the Bulls, which I was very proud of that. At the time, Jerry Rice was on the team. You know, it was another organization. And Rob Thorne drafted me. Kevin Lockman was my first coach. Kevin used to take me to practices and put me in the starting five. And he'd make it this competitive thing, you know, where the losing team would have to run. So now I'm on the winning team. And halfway through the situation, halfway through the game, he would switch me to the losing team. So I take that competitive thing, you know, trying to test me. And 9 times out of 10, the second team would come back to win no matter what he did. So I appreciate Kevin Lockman for giving me that fire, giving me the challenge, and providing me, just throwing another fire on that log. Nope, throwing another log, oh well. I play basketball, but I'm also a student. My competitive nature carries right into my grades, but sometimes I goof off in class, and I have to dial it back a little bit. When I play basketball, I can't help but want to be the best, want to be better than everyone on the court. My mom always said that I could do anything I put my mind to, and that's how I treat my life. I went on a trip to the Tetons last summer, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done so far. This was a hiking trip with my troop, and we hiked like non-stop 7 miles every day. And I was nervous that I was gonna die of exhaustion, but my mom told me it's as easy as putting one front foot in front of the other, and that's how I treat my life, just one foot in front of the other.
I'm Isaac Lesser, and I'm doing Adolf Hitler. Nationalist Socialists, at this time you probably all felt that this step was a bitter and difficult one for me. The German people has never harbored hostile feelings against the peoples of Russia. However, for more than 2 decades, the Jewish Bolshevik rulers in Moscow have been endeavoring to set aflame not only in Germany, but all Europe. At no time did Germany ever attempt to carry her National Socialist worldview into Russia, but on the contrary, Jewish Bolshevik rulers in Moscow unswervingly endeavored to foist their domination upon us and other European nations, not only by ideological means, but above all with military force. The consequences of this activity, of this regime, were nothing but chaos, misery, and starvation in all countries. These people are a threat to our nation and have to be stopped. Not once, but on multiple occasions have Muslims in our country attacked you, the civilians. Never has our nation tried to harm the people of Islam, but groups like ISIS decided that they would like to continue to attack civilians and work to take over the Middle East. As a result, the United States Army is commencing an invasion of ISIS-held territories. This will bring great protection to you, the people, and finally eradicate radical Islamic terrorism from the face of this earth. This is guaranteed to bring a better world for the future of your children and the United States as a whole.
I'm Brett Patrick, and I did Elon Musk. You need to work Well, depending on how well you work, in particular, if you're starting a company, you need to work super hard. Well, what would super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch and we showered at the YMCA. We had just one computer, so the website was up during the day and I was coding at night, 7 days a week, all the time. So I worked hard every waking hour. That's the thing I would say if particularly you are starting a company. And if you do the math to say, okay, if somebody else is working 50 hours and you're working 100, you'll get twice as much done in the course of a year than the other company. Another important thing would be to attract great people. Join a group that's amazing and that you really, really expect. Or if you're building a company, you got to gather great people. I mean, all a company is a group of people that are gathered together to create a product or service. And so depending on how talented and hardworking that group is, and the greater which they are focused cohesively in good direction, that will determine the success of a company. So do whatever you can to gather great people if you're starting a company. Overall, if you're working hard 5 or 7 days a week and accomplishing something every day, you're going to live a good life, a life that you do not waste. I'm only in middle school and the only thing I have to work on in my life is mostly schoolwork. As long as I'm working hard to get that schoolwork done, then I feel like I've accomplished something that day. Accomplishment is a great feeling, whether you are playing sports, studying, or working at a job. One of the worst feelings is when you're about to go to sleep and you realize that you did nothing that day, that you just wasted a whole day either playing video games or watching Netflix. Of course, you can still play video games and watch Netflix, but try to get something productive done that day. Working hard is very important. It will determine how successful you are in your life. Overall, how successful you are will determine how happy you are with your life.